listen to. So I hope that was understood. For interpretation, pour l'interprétation, there is a button to press at the bottom of your screen. Also, closed captioning is provided, also in English, French, and Spanish. For that, please click on the CC box in the bar down on your screen to view. And viewing links to sorry, give me 1 second. Viewing links to access closed captioning are also provided, or will also be provided in the chat, which I'm just checking now. Finally, all of you as participants are invited to type any questions or any comments in the chat box, and we will address them during the Q&A session, or we'll answer them in writing as appropriate. I hope that is all clear and makes good sense. Please could everyone who is not talking make sure that your microphone is switched off. That will really help the interpreters. I'm not seeing any questions, so I think we're going to proceed. Valentina, are you able to show the slides, or would you like me to proceed the way I am currently? Valentina? Okay, I can't hear Valentina. And the slides are not visible, are they, for everybody? Can I? So before we go back to the slides, I just want to draw your attention to the post that Valentina has just put in the chat, where you can get the links to captions in French and in Spanish and in English. Valentina, can you hear me? Are you able to present the slides?
Valentina is having a small technical issue. She will join in a minute.
Okay. Okay. In that case, I will carry on going, and I'll show you the slides I'm looking at. But I need to say that I also am having slight technical difficulties, so I hope this works for everybody. Okay, can you see the slide with housekeeping information? Can somebody say yes, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to carry on. As you can see, I'm sharing my screen in the full version, in the not in slideshow mode, because I'm having technical challenges. I hope this is okay, and I hope it is visible. So to repeat, the webinar is being recorded. Participants are invited to keep their camera and microphone off. Interpretation is provided in English, French, and Spanish. You can click on the interpretation box in the bar on your screen. Closed captioning is provided also in English, French, and Spanish. For that, you must click the CC box. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat box and we will try to answer them. So this webinar is drawing on a report that we recently published called Rehabilitation Matters, the appeal made by people in conflict-affected areas. And you can see there a QR code which allows you to go straight to the website that we have for this report and to download it, but also you can watch you can see the content that we've produced around the report, and it's a good little website. So I'm going to pause for a few seconds in case people want some time to scan that barcode. Okay, I'm going to move on. So most excitingly, and the reason you guys are here is to listen to our panelists. We have two or maybe three, and we'll find out in a minute if Christian has joined us. So the first who I know is here is Bun Tao. He is from Laos, the People's Democratic Republic of Laos, where he is a victim assistance officer at the National Regulatory Authority for the Unexploded Ordnance and Mine Action sector. So we look forward to hearing your contributions, Bun Tao. Do we have Christian Mello on the call? Christian, have you been able to join us? Okay, Christian is based in Colombia and he is unable to join us so far because of technical difficulties. I'm hoping he will be able to join us soon. And then the final panelist is Riham Shaheen, who works with HI. She is a Middle East regional rehabilitation specialist, and we look forward to hearing from you, Riham. But before we go any further, I'm going to show a short video. So I'm hoping this works. I'm going to press play. If you cannot hear the audio, can somebody please tell me? Thank you. Oh, it's not playing at all. Oh, that's frustrating. Why is it? Oh, here we go. I'm so sorry, everybody. As you can see, this is not fully downloaded. Okay, we're going to have to pause for a second while this downloads. I'm so sorry about this. I had not fully anticipated that the files would be so heavy. I think the best thing is actually just let's just pause for a minute. You guys have joined the call, which is great. Please just stay online, keep your cameras off, keep yourselves on mute, and we will wait for this to download. Aurelie, have you taken over screen sharing? Aurelie, are you able to play the video?
Spidey คอยซื้อตามร้านนาชาชมร้านคือคอยอยู่เมืองของคนสังขวัญอายุเฮ้ย30 ปี33 ปีแล้วนายตอนเคยยังน้อยนี้ไปถือระเบิดเป็นคนพิการแล้วแต่ว่าเดี๋ยวนี้ไม่มาเอาผัวตามครอบครัวอยู่คอยหอบทำนองนั้นลูกเขาขอให้มีลูก6 คนอาซีเจนี่อาซีสาวนาสาวให้ที่ว่าอันว่าต่อไปนี้ค่อยจีตามมาเฮ็ดอาซีเลี้ยงเด็ก หลังจากที่ค่อยเป็นคนพิการค่อยไปโรงเรียนไปอยู่หน้าไทยอยู่ที่บ้านสาวก็บ่หวั่นหลักเกี่ยงค่อยไปเข้าโรงเรียนนักเรียนอาจารย์ก็บ่รักเกียร์ค่อยมีเรียนอันใดที่บ้านค่อยเฮ็ดบ่ได้อาจารย์ก็บ่ว่าเฮ็ดอาจารย์ก็พักเฮ็ด แต่ว่าในเวลามาบ้านมีบางคนคุณโลกก็เจอว่าคนพิการมีบางคนก็เจอมีบางคนนี่โลกก็เจอว่าเป็นคนพิการมาเกียรก็ได้ว่าเป็นคนพิการแล้วอันเดียวก็อยู่ก็ได้มาว่าคันพอดีค่อยก็มี
Super, thank you, Aurélie, for jumping in with the video. So that, as you saw, was Ms. Joie, who lives in Laos, and she was severely injured in an unexploded ordnance accident when she was doing farm work, as you saw at the age of 9. And that was her sharing her experiences of both support and discrimination in the community. I would like to bring in both our panelists, Buntao and Riham, to just talk a bit about what role communities have in facilitating demand for and access to rehabilitation and also assistive technology, including in conflict-affected areas. And by assistive technology, we mean the technology that things like prosthetics and other aids that help people to have mobility or to have their needs met. Bunta, why don't I start with you? Could you tell us, this sort of video is obviously from your country, from Laos, so could you tell us a bit about how you think communities can help to facilitate demand for and access to rehabilitation?
So thank you for allowing me to join the meeting and to explain the situations in terms of the role of the communities in Laopedia. As you may know, the accident always occur in the remote area. So the people in the remote area, it is very difficult for them to access to the rehabilitation services, and we do have very limitations of the rehabilitation services. Through our country, we have only 6 centers, so it is very difficult for the community to access. Even though we do have kind of advocating people at the district level, but the information it should not it sometimes it doesn't go through the communities where the affected people at the village level. So in conclusion, for the difficulties in Laos, even though we have district hospital who in charge in terms of providing informations to the communities, but sometimes it is very difficult. In each year, for example, we collect the information like 500 cases, but finally they can access to the facilities maybe like 30 to 40% of the registers people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the real situation in Laopedia. In terms of the technology as well, we still not have like a modernized or new technologies if compared to others country in the regions. For example, in Thailand, in Cambodia. So this is still challenge for Laos, to provide properly and meet the needs of the survivors or people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, and it's very interesting to hear. But also, it must be very frustrating not to have, not to have the resources, and for communities' role in facilitating demand for rehabilitation being constrained. Reham, you're in the Middle East, covering a number of countries. How would you answer this question? What role do you think communities have in the countries that you cover?
Yes, thanks, George, and good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and thanks for giving me the chance to be part of this important webinar in order to advocate toward the integration of rehabilitation in emergency preparedness and response as well activities. So for Middle East, I would say that the community plays an essential role in facilitating the access to rehabilitation and assistive technology. In Middle East, I see the role of the community exists in increasing the awareness of the community about the importance and the benefits of rehabilitation in order to improve their functional abilities, improve their independence, and also to show the importance of rehabilitation as a mean to increase their access to service and enhance their participation in the community. In Middle East countries and in many contexts, I would say that people with disabilities and the victims of the explosive ordinance usually face the discrimination and the stigma, and in many events they are excluded from the service. So the role of the community exists also in supporting the community to understand the situation of persons with disabilities, to explain their role, to explain their rights to access services. In addition to raising awareness of the affected population about the locations of the services, because in many contexts we see that the cause of limited access to assistive technology and rehabilitation is the lack of access to information. So here the community plays really an essential role. In addition to that, in Middle East, I see that the role of community is essential in identifying the needs. And the identification in needs can help in advocating toward the integration of rehabilitation and assistive technology in the health system, in the emergency situation, and in other situations. So I would say that the community can also identify the need and refer to the existing services in order to ensure that the affected people can have access to timely services to prevent further complications and enhance their participation in the community. And in Middle East, I saw a role of the role of the community in supporting the accessibility through having community initiatives to support the transportation of people with disabilities and the victims to existing services, plus thinking of sustainable solutions for the physical accessibility to the houses and also the service provision locations. So this is the situation in Middle East and the role of community.
Thank you so much. That's really, really rich. And just going through the different points you made around, attitudes, access to information, which, as you say, is so important, assessing needs, and also facilitating access. There's so much that just doesn't get done or will not get done unless communities are engaged, because it can't just be done by formal service providers. So I think you've really helpfully given us a flavour of just how central community participation is to effective rehabilitation in the context that we're talking about. Okay, we're going to move on to another video. And then we're going to have a couple of brief reflections on that video, and then another video and more brief reflections, and then a Q&A. So to repeat my comment at the start of this call, if you have any questions that are coming to your mind as you listen, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat, and then we can address them during the Q&A. No, already go ahead. Let's hear the next video. Thank you.
Mi nombre es Andrés Betancourt, me encuentro en la ciudad de Paso Nariño, en la pastoral social, y fui víctima de conflicto armado. Sí, es bien importante porque hasta ahora en nuestro sistema de salud no se ve la necesidad de las personas, las necesidades que tiene, sino que se mira otros aspectos o intereses económicos de los intermediarios o prestadores de salud. Entonces es importante que se mire las necesidades del paciente y se entienda que los equipos tecnológicos, las prótesis que nosotros necesitamos no es un lujo, sino una necesidad que tenemos. Sí, lo que se hace a través de la estrategia de apoyo entre pares, es como se llama, es brindar acompañamiento psicosocial a las personas que están pasando por la misma situación que uno vivió en algún momento. Entonces es importante porque es un efecto inmediato positivo que causa a las personas cuando ven a alguien que ya pasó por la misma situación que uno, ver cómo ha superado esa situación y se ayuda de esa manera. Es importante entonces y gratificante para uno ver cómo las personas se recuperan casi que instantáneamente. O sea, funciona muy bien esa estrategia.
Super. So that was Andres, as you saw, from Colombia. I thought the first half of what he said there was quite powerful about, in effect,
drinking coffee every day didn't work.
About the failures of the health system, or the weaknesses of the health system in Colombia for somebody with his needs. But the second half of his comments there I thought were really interesting and potentially inspiring about you're on the wrong side already. Can you go forward too? About the role of peer-to-peer support. So he talked there about what a big difference it made for him as a victim of explosive weapons and explosive ordnance to benefit from peer-to-peer support. It's recognized as part of the comprehensive rehabilitation services and comprehensive psychological and psychosocial support services. But I think some of us would find it useful to hear a bit more about what exactly we mean by peer-to-peer support. Now, we know we have Reham on the line, but I think we may also now have Christian. Christian, are you able to hear me? Do we have Christian? He's joining. He's now unconnected. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, he's joining from southern Colombia, where they have had energy dropouts all day. So that's why he is not able to stay on the line. I'm sorry about that. Reham, can you tell us what we really mean when we talk about peer-to-peer support?
Okay, thanks, George. So, as we already heard and from the video, the peer-to-peer support is really an incredibly powerful community tool that can help the people who are impacted by the conflict, people who having disabilities or trauma, in order to reduce their feeling of isolation and stigma, feeling that they are not the only one who go through this situation. So the peer-to-peer support is a strategy where the people who have gone through similar life experience, like practicing disability or trauma, can offer the emotional, the social, and also practical support for people who are newly experiencing similar challenges. I would say that it is really an impactful strategy because it has a positive immediate impact on the people going through this situation. And if if you allow me to share one of the testimonies I already faced during my field work in one of the countries of Middle East, I saw a woman who had completed a post-prosthetic rehabilitation, and this woman went through the rehabilitation intervention and also the prosthetic services. This lady was contracted by one of the rehabilitation centers in order to facilitate a social support session. This woman really had very impactful, she was very impactful on the women who were attending this session. They were around 7 ladies, have lower limb amputation, who were psychologically impacted because their current situation affected their role as a mother and a wife. And after the session, I saw many ladies who came in order to take the number of the facilitator and to express their feelings. Many ladies were crying. It was like a briefing session where the women were able to relieve the stressors they had. It was like a safe space for them. And having this champion facilitator was like a role model for them and help them and encourage them in order to continue coming to the rehabilitation center to complete their rehabilitation intervention and being able to cope with their current situation and be more participating in the community. So this is the peer-to-peer, and I see it has very positive impact on the people going through this situation, especially recently.
Thank you so much. That was a brilliant description of how it works, and also of how big a difference it can make for people who need that support. I'm wondering if Christian can hear us. He seems to be connected. Christian, are you there? Okay, I think he may be connected, but not connected. We will continue. Reham, sorry to go back to you again, but you've explained to us really nicely what we mean by peer-to-peer support and how it can make a difference. But we'd also like to know what is needed to expand peer-to-peer support, especially in conflict-affected areas.
I would say before expanding, we need really to create this strategy because it's not existing in all communities. It is a gap of intervention, and especially the psychosocial support is missing in the intervention when we are talking about people affected by conflict. But if we want to strengthen the existing peer-to-peer support or to expand it, first, we have to identify the peer-to-peer leaders because there should be a specific criteria for the selection of those leaders or facilitators. First, there should be from the same community. They share the same culture, the same experience, and also they have the willingness in order to be able to facilitate peer-to-peer sessions. Also, we need to train those community leaders or facilitators or champion, whatever we can name them, in order to be able to provide the proper emotional and motivational support for people facing the same situation. In addition to that, we need to train the facilitators also in order to be able to refer timely the people to the specialized services when needed, because it is also a space where we can identify people needing for further support and don't have the information, as we said at the beginning, about the existing services in the community. Also, what we saw in the video is one of the challenges facing that there is no link between the health services and the existing peer-to-peer support group. So in order to expand, we need to create this link between the health and the health services and the peer support existing at the community level in order to ensure that people access this type of motivational and emotional support timely to help them to be more active and participating in their communities and debrief their psychological distressors timely. In addition to that, we need also to think about the safe space. We need to support the existing infrastructure by helping those groups to find a space where they can meet together in a comfortable area. Also, they have the resources that they help them in order to exchange experiences and also to share with them the materials, especially when we are talking about the facilitators. They should have access to the educational materials and the guidelines on how to help and facilitate the peer-to-peer sessions. In addition, since we are talking about people who went through difficult situation and extending support for traumatized persons, those people need to maintain their well-being in order to ensure their long-term involvement. So helping the helpers or providing psychosocial support for the facilitators is really essential to ensure their long-term engagement. And lastly, I would say that we need to create these support networks at the community level in the context where these groups are not existing. And the good thing of the support of the peer-to-peer support that it can be, I would say, implemented in different ways. It shouldn't be usually one-to-one interaction in person. It could be through a platform. It can be carried out through phone, online, and this make it more accessible for people living in hard and inaccessible environments. Over.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So much there. Really, really rich reply. Thank you. I think we have Christian on the line also. Am I correct? Or do I have false information? Okay, I wonder if I can bring in Valentina, who's our HI Global Advocacy Specialist on rehabilitation, to share some of the points that Christian had prepared for this. Are you able to do that, Valentina?
Gracias. Gracias, George. Voy a compartirle las notas de Cristian que nos envió. Desafortunadamente no puede estar con nosotros hoy, pero espero que la traducción funcione, la interpretación. Voy a hablar en español y leer lo que Cristian nos ha enviado. ¿Qué entendemos por apoyo entre pares? Cristian escribió que la estrategia de apoyo entre pares consiste en brindar un acompañamiento psicosocial, el cual se basa en visitar y apoyar a una persona con el mismo tipo o grado de discapacidad. Esta estrategia tiene como objetivo contribuir al proceso de rehabilitación o recuperación. Nuestros promotores psicosociales utilizan la metodología como escucha activa, reflexión sobre las emociones y validación. ¿Qué se necesita en Colombia para ampliar los programas de apoyo entre pares en las zonas afectadas por los conflictos? Cristian nos dice que necesitamos empoderar aún más a los líderes y lideresas, a los actores clave de los territorios en conflicto, para que nos ayuden a visibilizar la estrategia de apoyo entre pares y poder adoptarla como una política pública. De esta manera se podrá acceder a recursos públicos y eso será sostenible. Se espera también trabajar con cooperación internacional y que sean muchas más las organizaciones que puedan implementar la estrategia de apoyo entre pares. Además, se busca que se den espacios como estos webinarios, para conocer los resultados y logros de la estrategia de apoyo entre pares para la rehabilitación. Con esto podríamos garantizar la ampliación y la sostenibilidad de estas estrategias en los territorios de conflicto. Muchas gracias.
Super, thank you so much. So that was Valentina sharing points. Valentina from, well, she's Italian, but speaks very good Spanish. Sat next to Blondine Buñuel in Brussels, I believe. So that's why the name is different to the face. Giving us comments from Christian Melo, who is based in Colombia. So a very international effort there. Thank you. Okay, Aurélie, could I ask you to move to the next slide, please? This is our final, very short video, and then we'll do one more round of contributions from the panel, and then we will open it up for questions and answers.
شاه ايش؟
شاه اسماعيل محمد
أي صف؟
ثالث
شو تتمنين تصيرين؟
دكتورة.
ليش تريدين تصيرين دكتورة؟
هيك
ها؟ تريدين تصيرين دكتورة مال شنو؟
مال عيون.
هذا
هسه شو وقت تروحين هسه للمدرسة؟
ايه.
حبيبتي.
Excellent. That was a lovely little video. So that was Shaha, who lives in Iraq. That was Shaha, who lives in Iraq. When she was 3, she was injured and seriously burnt by the explosion of an improvised explosive device. Rehabilitation has helped her a lot to improve her hands' mobility. And as you saw there, her dream is to become a doctor in the future, which is excellent. Perhaps giving back some of what she has benefited from her through her very tough experiences as a young girl. I am going to bring in Christian and/or Valentina, and also Buntao again, to answer this final set of questions. Maybe we'll start with you, Buntao. So
Yes.
rehabilitation improves autonomy, it improves the quality of life, but alone it doesn't ensure inclusion, right? So you can
Yes.
maybe learn to move, you can maybe improve some aspects of the quality of your life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be fully included if you live in a society where inclusion isn't automatic. Inclusion requires collaboration across different sectors, different actors. So could you tell us, what do you think are the keys to an effective multi-sector approach that ensures the inclusion of victims of conflicts, survivors, people with disabilities?
So thank you again for giving me to share the information from La PDR, as we have a lot of experience, UXO survivors or EO survivors become disabilities. So it is very important that we need to integrate into different sector. For example, we have a lot of children, when they become disabilities, that they are very difficult to go to school. So that's why we have to work closely with the Ministry of Education and also Ministry of Labor Social Welfare in terms of the vocational training services. So all of the victim assistance work, it is cross-cutting issues. So that's, as the question said, that rehabilitation alone, doesn't mean that it can include in the, inclusion, economic inclusion or society inclusions. So this is very important, as the how can we call that in Lao, like national bodies, or who direct responsibilities to ensure that all the activities and the needs of the UXO survivors that integrated into multiple sectoral frameworks, because it's not only to integrate, but we have to conduct kind of educating the different ministry to understand the situations, why we have to integrate this task into the framework. So this is what we implemented in Laos, kind of as we have, we call it a technical working group meeting on victim assistance in every 3 months to discuss how can we lead the victim assistance work and ensure that all these jigsaw survivors, integrated into their what we call the frameworks.
Super. Thank you so much, Buntao. Thank you. So now I'm going to try one more time to see if Christian has joined us. Christian, are you there? I think maybe no. In which case, Valentina, could you share the points that Christian was hoping to make?
Con mucho gusto. Voy a hablar en nombre de Cristian para responder sobre esta pregunta sobre las claves de un enfoque multisectorial. La primera clave sería identificar las necesidades y fallas en la inclusión de víctimas, sobrevivientes y personas con discapacidad por medio de investigaciones o resultados de estudios desarrollados en los territorios donde existan conflictos. La segunda clave es capacitar a líderes, lideresas y representantes de personas con discapacidad con el objetivo claro de que puedan participar en espacios de incidencia a nivel local, regional y nacional. La tercera clave es por medio de foros, espacios virtuales, conversatorios, visibilizar la necesidad de incluir a las víctimas de conflictos, sobrevivientes y personas con discapacidad desde un enfoque multisectorial. La cuarta clave es que si existen proyectos para la inclusión de estas poblaciones, es necesario que la evaluación se haga de forma cualitativa y cuantitativa y por un actor externo. Muchas gracias.
Hola, ¿me escuchan?
Great. Oh, is that Christian coming in?
Sí, sí. Muy buenos días desde Colombia, desde la Red Latinoamericana y desde la Federación Nacional de Asociaciones de Sobrevivientes. Quiero ofrecer disculpas. Acá donde yo me encuentro es un municipio pequeño y el día de anoche se fue la energía y apenas acabo de llegar. No tenía cómo o de qué manera comunicarme y aquí estoy de pronto para aclarar alguna duda o pregunta al respecto y felicitarlos pues por este importantísimo espacio y creo que ahí había abordado uno de las 4 puntos claves de lo del tema de la rehabilitación, la estrategia de apoyo entre pares, el tema de la inclusión de nosotros los y las sobrevivientes de minas y darles a conocer que aquí estamos con los últimos inconvenientes que les he mencionado. Gracias.
Super. Thank you so much, Christian. I'm very pleased that you were able to join us. Okay, we have 9 minutes. The final section is Q&A, so that's questions and answers. And for this section, we would love to hear from anybody who has a question or even a comment to share. If you do, then could you put your hand up on Zoom or put your question in the chat? I can see Natalia Briceño has got her hand up. Is that a new hand, Natalia? Okay, it's not. Okay, and I can see Siham Bolad has a hand up. Siham, why don't you speak? Oh no, we may have lost Siham as well.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you are
Thank
here.
you very
Okay,
much.
super.
Fine to have this nice discussion and presentation. I'm Siham from Ag International Sudan Program. Thank you very much for all presenters. Here I have one comment about the elements of the inclusion. I think also we have to consider persons with disabilities themselves, as most of them are not feeling confidence enough and courage to be part of the inclusion. So it is very important to encourage them to be part of community and also to have this confidence and courage to participate fully in the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Siham. I think that is a really important point. So thank you indeed for contributing. Okay, we have some other participants. We have I think Buntao looking to respond. Buntao, over to you. Buntao?
Yes,
your hand up?
can you hear me?
Yes, we can, yes.
Okay, thank you. I just would like to have some point there to share with the group, because as the what we call it, the surveys of the people with disabilities, it is very important issues. So in Laupida, we are facing with the the informations of people with disabilities, including the UXO survivors as well, that we do not have properly information in the database system. So these issues, I think, if we can to address all the needs of the people with disabilities, to ensure that they are integrated into different sectoral. I think the very useful for the countries to conduct the surveys. So currently in Laupida, we do not have any kind of detailed information of individual for the people with disabilities.
Thank you, Buntao. And I can see in the chat that people are agreeing with you on the need for interdisciplinary teams to address rehabilitation needs. Also in the chat, I can see Feda Mohammed with a very nice line. Rehabilitation is not good without teamwork. I think this is a theme that has come through really strongly in this conversation today. I'm conscious we only have 5 minutes and we have not heard much from Christian. So Christian, if you're still able to be heard, do you have further reflections that you would like to share? Christian?
¿Sí me escuchan? Sí, estoy aquí. En primer lugar, pues, en nombre de la Red Latinoamericana, la Federación Nacional de Asociaciones de Sobrevivientes de Minas, pues, agradecer a Humanity Inclusion por seguir propiciando estos conversatorios que son muy importantes, que aportan mucho al tema de lo de la inclusión de todos nosotros, las sobrevivientes y personas con discapacidad en los diferentes espacios de incidencia, el tema de la rehabilitación integral. Creo que el tema de la estrategia de apoyo entre pares se complementa excelentemente muy bien. Y desde Colombia tenemos muchas experiencias muy exitosas en los diferentes espacios en los cuales se ha participado, incluso por medio de HI, pues en el año 2014 se formó o nos formamos con esta estrategia de apoyo entre pares, se le ha venido dando continuidad, trabajando con lo que tenemos, con nuestras asociaciones en los diferentes territorios de conflictos o afectados por el conflicto armado, y buscamos cada día mucha más inclusión, como dice el lema de la Convención de los Derechos de nosotros, las personas con discapacidad. Nada sobre nosotros sin nosotros, hacer más y hacerlo mejor. Siempre hay buena disposición y buena voluntad, y reconocerles y felicitarles a todos los organizadores de este importantísimo espacio y a todos los panelistas y asistentes. Fue de gran provecho y muy interesantes cada una de las conclusiones que nos dan aún más argumentos como para seguir trabajando en nuestros territorios, un intercambio de saberes o conocimientos. Muchas gracias y un cordial saludo desde Samaniego, Colombia, para el mundo.
Thank you very much indeed, Christian. That's really lovely to hear. Very kind of you to say that. Super. Okay, we are very fast approaching the end of the hour. I can see that Siham has made another good comment about how a peer-to-peer approach is very effective and a very supportive method. And I'm pleased that we have discussed a bit peer-to-peer approaches today. And it's I think something we should all take away from this conversation is about their importance. Bunta, your hand has gone up. We have 1 minute, so you can have the final minute. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Just would like to share about the peer-to-peer, in Laos. It's a very important issue as well, because, the communities, they have different cultures. So if we, take different people to their communities, maybe, it's something is not very good, that better than we train communities people to talk with the people in their own communities. So this is a very effectiveness. That is what I would like to share. Thank you.
Super, thank you very much. And thank you also, Buntao, for joining this call. I know it's very late in Laos at the moment, so thank you. Huge thank you to all of our panelists, to Reham and to Christian, also to Aurélie for stepping in with the slides, and to Valentina for stepping in with Christian's comments, and to all of you for joining. I hope you have found it interesting and useful. Please do take a look at the report and the website, and please just be in contact with us if you want to take this conversation further. But for now, we're going to end the call. A big thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
So thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Reham.